Listening or hearing? There is a difference, and I realize I'm talking to healthcare professionals. You all know the difference, but this was a key learning point for me. There are plenty of times when I have just been hearing someone or something, but not consciously or actively listening, and there is a big difference. Hearing, sound waves bouncing around in your ears, the technical explanation, and active listening, as its name suggests, actively listening. That is fully concentrating on what is being said rather than just passively hearing the message of the speaker. It is a conscious choice to engage, and active listening is a skill that can be acquired and developed with practice. Like I said, active listening means taking in the other person completely. We not only take in their words, but we must pay attention to their nonverbals, facial expressions, body language, tone, gestures. We can take away a lot from reading a person completely. We often observe someone say something, but their body language reflects something totally different. For example, have you been doing your recovery exercises? Yeah, I've been doing my recovery exercises. Right? So you heard the person say yes, but when we watch the tone, the posture, the facial expression, the gesture, we see something very different. So oftentimes we miss out on that because we're not completely present or engaged with the person. And one's nonverbals and other cues are answering the question for us. So we really need to make sure that we fully listen to what another is offering us so that we don't miss out on valuable information and understanding. So how can we be more effective at actively listening? First is presence, focused engagement, giving your full attention to the other. Presence really is a present you can give to other. Simply stop doing other stuff. Get out of your own mind and put your focus on the other person. Engage in eye contact. Really make that connection. Be interested in the other person. That can be very powerful, that connection. Using engaged body language, oftentimes sitting forward toward the person, opening our arms, removing any sort of barriers that might get in the way of being able to be open and connecting. Having engaging facial expressions can be helpful. Smiling is a very powerful facial expression that can create a strong connection, bond, create a sense of welcome and acceptance between individuals. Another valuable skill is mirroring. Mirror the gestures and expressions, following someone's facial expressions. Someone's sitting, it might be more effective to sit across from that person rather than standing with the person sitting. Getting on the same level can really be key. Mirroring is a valuable way to show that connection and also oftentimes equalize status between individuals. It's a powerful form of creating empathy, validation, and understanding because it provides comfort and security in each other by matching and mirroring posture, facial expression, and body language. This is something that has to be practiced, but you'll also start to notice how often you naturally mirror someone else's facial expressions, right? When someone's sad, we tend to mirror that. When someone has a posture of excitement, we often mirror that as well. Another skill that we can work on is practice listening with empathetic ears. Imagine the other person's circumstances, thinking about beyond your own world and not imposing your own values and biases. So really trying to listen with ears that are very open and suspending that judgment, which will help reduce bias, right? So truly listening to what is being said without imposing those values, ideas, and thoughts of ourselves. We also need to stop interrupting so much. I think a lot of times we have our own agenda and we'd like to control the situation, and so we might interrupt more than we should. So if we can be aware and be better listeners and stop interrupting so much, that can be really helpful in becoming an active listener. Another valuable skill is to reflect and summarize what is being heard. Sounds like what you're saying is what I hear, so repeating what you hear back, showing that you are getting what the person is offering you. And another valuable skill you can do is if for some reason you need to check your phone, jot something on the computer, look at a piece of paper, explain what you're doing when you're not completely connected with the other. I just need to check my phone real quick to make sure that I have your appointment scheduled or something like that. It just gives the person the sense that you're not disengaged, that you are present and it's meaningful what you're doing in that moment. And ultimately try to reduce all those distractions so that There's no phones, computers, and other stimuli that are taking you away from being connected and actively listening to the other. These active listening skills can help really create more inclusivity, acceptance, validation, empathy. It's more person-centered care, understanding, and connection. These skills are powerful, and that level of presence to another is really validating, empowering, and connecting. It's a palpable energy when you are that engaged with another through consciously, actively listening. Thank you so much for listening.